Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Homer Township, Will County, conservative area. They've got a bit of a issue with the local elementary school art teacher who was retained last year. This dude, who I think identifies as a female, goes by the name Chris Martin, at least on social media. Fox Chicago picked up on the controversy out there in Homer and talked to some parents who aren't happy about Chris's social media posts and what they may indicate about what Chris will be instructing their kids on in the classroom.
According to this art teacher appears to have been hired over the summer. Was supposed to teach art in 4 different elementary schools here in the Homer 33C school district. But today, the first day of classes, art class was canceled.
The school should have done a better job in checking these things.
The first day of school for Homer District 33C tarnished with controversy over a new elementary teacher and social media posts that appear to be connected to him.
I've seen some anti-religious. There's definitely child sacrifice. There was Satan worship.
If he has his lifestyle, so be it. But that is not going to be put onto our children.
Some parents tell Fox 32 safety may be of concern.
At first, I didn't think anything of it. They were talking about religion, and I'm not. You could believe what you want to believe, but then some of the pictures and then some of the. He said he got violent.
They started voicing their concerns this week, but heard nothing from school leaders.
I was angry. I don't feel like any of the concerns or questions that hundreds of parents have been asking have been answered. And I think that that is just to shut us up.
The district did respond Thursday afternoon, the superintendent saying in part, quote, while the district cannot speak on matters of personnel for individual employees, I do want parents to know that I've heard your concerns, understand the issues highlighted by the community, and am investigating the situation.
He was even hired in the first place, shows that the discernment of the people that hired him needs to be checked.
Yeah, that last comment is spot on. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 646-360-A, turnkey.pro text line. You should see some of his social media posts. Pretty graphic.
What does it show?
Also this, in another post, in one post where he offered more about himself, he said that he has bipolar 1 disorder with mania and psychosis.
Oh, God.
And he has done things in conditions of psychosis and mania that have been violent and hurtful. Well, you know, with all the assistant superintendents and assistant superintendents and principals and assistant principals and deans of students and assistant deans of students and HRP, you know, can these government schools... Anybody over there do like a...
Properly vet people?
Do a Google search?
Yeah.
Do you do the
simple.
basics?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. There's also this. His LGBTQ2 spirit plus advocacy. It complains about LGBTQ people, offers the canard that somehow LGBTQ people are being targeted specifically for violence, and they suffer violence at a greater rate than non-LGBTQ, which isn't true. But anyway, he goes on to say, let's continue to send a message to Will County and the surrounding counties. They thought that the revolution wasn't going to come to their quiet little white-collar town. Well, they were wrong. We're already here, and we demand to never be forgotten again. You thought the revolution wasn't going to come to your quiet little white-collar town.
And then it does.
Right, but I mean, that statement, that doesn't raise any questions in the minds of school board members or school officials. parents, of course, being the last to know, but at least at Homer 33C, you have some parents speaking out. One of them is the mayor of Homer Glen. She's Christina Neitzke, and she joins us now. Christina, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So give us, I mean, you're a parent in addition to being the mayor of Homer Glen, one of the communities impacted here. So give us your perspective on this teacher and what we know about him identifying as her, just based on his own social media posts.
Yeah, as a parent, it was a little alarming to read some of those posts, especially in the position I'm in when he talks about, coming to Will County and exactly what you just said, being the mayor, my husband being a commander at the Will County Sheriff's Office. I just don't feel comfortable with my children being in the classroom of this art teacher. My phone has been inundated with phone calls from parents. The school board is working extremely hard to figure this out. I heard you guys say, who does the backgrounds or, if they check the social media. Part of the problem is there's a lot of fake profiles, different names being used.
Well,
I don't know if...
Well, yeah, but you can say, we did a Google search on you, Chris. Are these your posts? Is this you?
True, I do think maybe the ball was dropped somewhere in that HR department or whoever does the hiring over there.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you're working in a school district, though, or hiring teachers, you need to be very thorough. In our day and age, you need to be very thorough who you hire.
Absolutely. And do you have any of your kids in this school, in this class?
Yeah, I have a daughter who's 7 years old. She goes to, I don't want to say what school she goes to right now, but yeah, she would be in that classroom. And I also have a 4-year-old son who has cerebral palsy as well, who will be in that classroom.
Well, are you going to allow that teacher to teach your kids?
No, I actually called the school right away when I found out as a parent to see if there was an opt-out option, and I was told they don't believe you can opt out of art. And I said, well, my children do go to therapy, and I said I would make their therapy time at that exact time.
Yeah, I mean, this other thing, too, about this guy saying that this is him volunteering it. Bipolar 1 disorder with mania and psychosis, and I've done things in conditions of psychosis and mania that have been violent and hurtful. That seems to me, as a school board, as a superintendent, as a principal, something you'd want to explore with somebody who's going to be in a classroom full of 7-year-olds.
I was told mental illness is a protected class. However, when you say something like that, they talk about triggers. I mean, who knows what would trigger somebody to do something to our children? I mean, our children are our most sacred residents in Homer Glen. As you can tell, this community rallies around their kids. And I don't want anything happening. I mean, they talk about red flags. Look for red flags. Well, guess what? Our parents look for these red flags. And that's exactly what I see as a bunch of red flags.
I know. They keep saying, if you see something, say something. But where did this...
Okay, I see your social media posts. Yeah.
But where is this person from? Where did he work prior to this? Do we know anything about him?
He was in Worth.
He was in Worth, Illinois?
Yeah, District 127, yep.
And I don't know if you've heard this or but, the rumor mill is churning. And I heard that he was terminated from employment in Worth because he was showing kids inappropriate art.
Yeah, you know how the rumor mill goes. I've heard that. I've heard a lot of different things. Obviously, don't have any proof of that, but that's the rumor, yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, from some of the posts that are circulating, you could see, I mean, that they're inappropriate. They'd certainly be inappropriate for children. And so if you showed them even his social media pages, that would be showing them inappropriate art. But I guess we'll have to see. So, I mean, in terms of going forward, obviously you're the mayor. You're not in charge of the school district. You're not in charge of the school board. But you're suggesting there's communication going on between municipal officials and school officials about this, and you anticipate there's going to be some sort of a public comment beyond that sanitized statement you heard from the superintendent in terms of resolution of how the school district's going to handle this sometime soon?
Yes, we have the township, the village, and the school district have been in communication, I believe, since Tuesday. And they have a school board meeting on Tuesday. And I suggested to them to make sure that they have enough room, maybe stage the board meeting to the auditorium just so everyone can be in attendance.
Yeah, maybe to the United Center. Christina Neitzke, she's the mayor of Homer Glen. Christina, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
You too. Let's take some other calls.
Okay.
Chris, South Loop. Hey, Chris.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks as always. I just want to say the only problem with this story is that it's 23 and they just had an election. But the revolution has happened, and this is a focal point. This is a focal point for change, and they've got to start organizing now to win as many races in 25 as they can. And I'll tell you a couple other things quickly. Number one, what this means is that there is a lot of other bad stuff going on underneath, the visibility of the average person out there in Homer. And number two, take a look at the state of Illinois. We don't cause people who have transgressed to lose their certification. You've got an enormous number of folks who have been fired for cause, and they just pop up, and that leads to the final. I can tell you exactly how this guy got his job. It wasn't through HR. It was through friends.
Yeah,
These
sure.
guys, there is a real network that will, they find out their friend Joe Schmo got into trouble in Worth, and then they find a place for him wherever it is. And that's the fact that somebody inside of Worth, schools, some teacher or administrator said to this guy, "Oh, we'll take care of you." If that doesn't tell everybody in Worth it's time to organize and take back the school board, then I don't know what else to do. They need a revolution. Thank you for leading our counter revolution, guys.
Thanks
so
call.
much.
Thanks for the call, Chris. Good points. Yeah, it's what Davis Guggenheim nicely documented in Waiting for Superman, his documentary about school choice.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, 15 years ago now. The Dance of the Lemons. The Dance of the Lemons. It didn't just happen in the Catholic Church, or it's not just happening in the Catholic Church. I think it's mostly past tense in the church. But K through 12 government school systems, again, I know that's the one place that's inviolate, completely protected from scrutiny, even for things that horrify us when we find out they're going on in other institutions. Our teacher for 7-year-old kids with this sort of public profile, all of his own volunteering, and nobody catches it until somebody catches it.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
It took a panicked run on a major bank to lead to the second biggest bank failure in U.S. history. And Moody's just downgraded the entire U.S. banking system from stable to negative. Just a reminder why many people diversify their portfolios with something tangible, something that doesn't need bailing out, something that can't vanish into thin air. Learn the truth in Swiss America's shocking report, The Secret War on Cash. This all-out war against cash is a war against the Constitution, against all freedom-loving Americans. You must read The Secret War on Cash. Get your free copy by calling or texting 800-630-1495. That's 800-630-1495.